Hey you guys, thanks for listening in to this episode of Tips with T. On today, I have Miss Adanna Austin with us. Hi, Miss Adanna, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show. So tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Well, I am from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, and I'm a business coach and consultant. So I work with entrepreneurs to help them get very clear on their goals, identify their ideal clients, and develop the strategies to grow their business. So that's what I do.
Awesome, awesome. So why did you decide to become a business coach?
Well, I decided to become a coach after years of providing marketing and PR consultancy to like small to medium sized businesses. I realized like about 5 to 6 years ago, the conversation started to change and what the clients needed um, shifted a little bit. So some people wanted to be taught as opposed to just hiring somebody to do something for them.
Mhm.
So I decided to, figure out what does that service look like because I didn't know what a business coach was at that time. Um, so I did some research. I figured it out. I went to school and I, got some guidance as to how to set up the business and how to actually provide this service. And yeah, and that's why I became a coach. I wanted to be able to reach a lot more entrepreneurs in a shorter space of time to provide them with tips and tools and resources that they could easily implement in their business to
Mhm.
grow quicker.
Awesome.
So that's why I did it.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're doing that services. We need a lot of business coaches now since during this time, a
Oh,
lot of us
yes,
are trying to become entrepreneurs. So that's a good thing.
definitely. That's definitely.
Um, so what type of businesses are you finding more now that you're starting to coach, or what experiences with different types of business entities that you coach?
Well, the type of clients that I have kind of range across different industries. Yeah, so I have like retail clients, clients in IT and engineering, clients who are photographers, makeup artists. So I have a really wide range of clientele. I have different product offerings
Mm-hmm.
for an entrepreneur who's like now starting up as opposed to an entrepreneur who has been in business already making money and just wants to kind of up level their business. So I have different packages depending on where you are in your journey of entrepreneurship. But the type of clients really is really wide,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all different types of clients and not just online clients, but also brick and mortar clients.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like we have a lot of brick and mortar now with the pandemic. Everybody kind of had to close down. Most
Right.
people had to close down their services. So that has forced a lot more people to be online. But yeah, I service different types of clients.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you did say, due to the pandemic, no brick and mortar. So what are you seeing now
Mhm.
with your clients, their biggest struggle during this time?
Well, two things I think they're struggling with. One, which is obvious, is like their mindset
Mm-hmm.
because it's a shock to your system, right? Just trying to figure out how to navigate this thing because you have less face-to-face interactions with your audience and that kind of thing. And just because a lot of people have to work from home, and they're isolated, it's hard to stay motivated and stay focused on the
Mm-hmm.
business. So that has I think has been like the hugest thing. And then the second struggle is how to pivot into the digital age,
Mm-hmm.
because as I said, a lot of them may have had an online presence, but they were not leveraging the presence.
Mm-hmm.
So now, because they have to shift how they're doing business, they have to spend a lot more time on their online presence and how to make sure that they're still visible and their brand is still relevant and still make sales online,
Right.
right? So making that shift. So people who didn't have websites before now understand
The importance of what.
why I need to have a website. Or who weren't leveraging even their social media,
Mm-hmm.
why it's important to be consistent and have really engaging content and use videos and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of learning going on now, and the processes and the tools that you need to marry everything together to keep your business afloat and to allow your business to still operate so you can pay your staff, pay
Mhm.
yourself,
Mhm.
and continue with your business.
Yeah, I'm finding, yeah, I really do think it's important about the mindset. A lot of
Yes.
people, they are struggling. And before the pandemic hit, I don't know, it was just like one of my goals really to just create an office space where I can work so I can feel comfortable.
Yes.
So I did, like, I put my pictures and stuff on the wall, my degrees and different things to make it like a warm environment. Not really noticing that ahead of time I was preparing myself to
You're
fully work from
preparing
home.
yourself. Yes.
To fully work
Yeah.
from home.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. So now it's kind of like easier, to where I feel
Yes.
like if I probably would have been like not really,
Scrambling a little bit.
yeah, if
Hmm.
I would have not tried to take that initiative and say, okay, I'm going to create an office space to where I
Yeah.
feel, I can get work done, to where I know now it's probably hard for people because they're used to actually going into work and being in the office,
Yes.
and now they can't do that and they're
It's a
struggling.
big shift for a lot of people, even those who have like brick and mortar businesses. They're accustomed getting up and going to open a shop, and you know what I mean, selling the majority of their stuff face to face with their clients. So it
Mm-hmm.
is a huge shift, because the business structure is different if
Yes.
you're doing it online. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the mindset work is something that I really encourage all of my clients to embark on, like their affirmations and their journaling and their meditations and
Mm-hmm.
all the woo-woo stuff that people kind of roll their eyes at when I tell them to do
Right.
it. But it does make a huge difference,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to find something that will keep you centered,
Yeah.
because it's easy to lose focus and get frustrated
Mm-hmm.
and procrastinate in a time like this.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's challenging, but you got to put in the work so you can stay afloat. Also, too,
Yeah.
like you were saying, I have noticed that a lot of people are utilizing social media platforms to do videos and stuff now more, to keep their current clients engaged. I actually
Yes.
see where some certain ones are just like, talking about their life a little bit and how the pandemic has been affecting them and what they've been doing,
Yes.
so they can still kind of have that client and, you know,
It's
customer
a relationship. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's about building a relationship. So what I've found, like you rightfully said, a lot more people are sharing their own stories,
Mm-hmm.
how they are coping in this pandemic, how they're coping isolating, and they're relating it to their business experiences, which is a great strategy,
Mm-hmm.
because your audience wants to feel connected to you and wants to know that if you're experiencing the same type of anxieties that they are experiencing. So I think it has forced us to be a little more true
Mm-hmm.
and stop hiding behind these pretty logos and these pretty
Mm-hmm.
stuff and show up as our true authentic selves, right? I think that's like the best thing about this whole thing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
get to actually see people and meet people in their real selves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I think that's all. It's all the better for me because like now you can relate. You can show your clients that, "Hey, I
Yes.
can relate to you. Hey, we're.
We're all in this together.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
together. So also too, how can business owners set digital products to stay afloat? I know
Well,
they're offering services.
yeah, I know. Well, digital products is actually has been the biggest growing market since we've been in isolation, right? Because
Mhm.
everybody now wants to have a digital product. And
Right.
the good thing is that a digital product comes in so many different ways, right? It's not just one thing. It could be an ebook, it could be a course, an online course, it could be something in a Facebook group, it could be a webinar training.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it really allows you to serve your audience in a different way, in a variety of ways. And it also allows you to sell more,
Mm-hmm.
because you can sell more than one thing at a time, as opposed to if you're just doing a workshop on a day, you're just doing a workshop on a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the digital products is a great thing. And I encourage everybody who's an entrepreneur to really explore what digital product my audience would appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it's part of your strategy and your packaging for your audience. And it's a great way for you to stay connected and just give them what they want in a different way. Some people pre-record some of their digital products and then sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, like for me, I do like a challenge every month, a 5 day challenge every month, which I consider a digital product, but I come in and actually do training with my audience, and then they get to walk away with some stuff. And then I have ebooks and, other workshops and that kind of thing. So you want to create a mix of digital products
Mm-hmm.
for your audience, because people consume information differently and people learn differently as well,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the digital products is the way to go. And I hope that never disappears because I just love them.
I'm definitely considering myself to offering and creating digital products too for my clients or future clients. Um,
Yes.
because now we can't be so much as hands-on and meet all the time. So we
Yeah.
try to find, a way to create maybe you a handbook or some
Yes, like a workbook or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
like your own personal time where you can work on, and if
Yes.
you want to email it back over to me, we can check, we can discuss. That's fine, but at least have you something where you can work on it on your own time, because now
Yes.
we can't be in arm's reach anymore, like because we're social distancing. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely been thinking about the different digital products that I can do. But what is the one main thing that you think is probably the best one to start with if people don't know like what area they want to start to creating a digital product?
I would say start off with like an ebook,
Mm-hmm.
right? An ebook where you kind of guiding your audience through a journey of like this how you begin, this is the steps you take, and that kind of thing. I think the ebook might be the easiest and the fastest way for you to start. And from there, then you can start to do some like video trainings, which you can also pre-record
Mm-hmm.
and put on a platform for them to get. But I think the ebook is like the easiest thing. If you're using a program like Canva or something to lay it out with your brand colors and your brand images and that kind of thing. And remember, the ebooks don't have to be really, really large, right? What I would usually tell my clients who are doing ebooks is to break it up into smaller topics
Mm-hmm.
so that it's digestible,
Yeah.
right? Because usually the digital products are not hugely expensive. Usually like $10, $15, 29.99, and that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bigger ones that have the video trainings and stuff attached, you might find those maybe a little more expensive, like 50 US and things like that. But to start, you could just create a simple ebook for like 9.99, which just guides your audience through the steps of doing one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then create follow-up ebooks. So it's kind of encouraging them. So as you finish this ebook, you need to buy this other one and buy this other one. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
carry them on that journey and just through ebooks. And the last one could be like a big video training where you put everything together for them. So I would say, yeah, ebooks is a way to start and then branch off into all the other things.
Mm-hmm. Well, awesome, awesome. So yeah, that was very, very helpful because I never thought about ebooks. I was thinking
Yeah.
it'd be like doing something like, like like the actual hand workbooks type things, or like a planner or
Mhm.
something. I was thinking about that, but now you just gave me a whole totally different idea when it comes to ebooks. I'm like, that's why I'm sitting here like, yeah.
It's easy to start, and then you could go into the bigger books, the bigger types of, digital products. The easiest to start, I think, is an ebook. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Miss Adana, for coming on today, sharing these
No
tips.
problem.
Try to tell us little tips about how we can stay afloat. So tell our listeners how we can get in contact with you, and I will share your social media handles.
No problem. Well, you can get in contact with me on my website, which is Marketing Dynamics Business Solutions. You can follow me on Facebook, which is MD Business Solutions. My LinkedIn page, MD Business Solutions, and on my Instagram, we have Coach Adanna Austin. I also hosted, and I think I forgot to tell you this, I also host a Facebook group with 4,000 entrepreneurs, right? And every day we like share tips and tools and resources, and we keep each other accountable. And that Facebook group is called Dynamic Business Strategist. So that's the easiest and fastest way for somebody to get in contact with me and get a lot of free training and free resources from me. So Dynamic Business Strategist on Facebook. That group Yeah, and not just from me, but from other entrepreneurs from around the world who are, on the same journey.
Hmm. And it's awesome. That's awesome because it's good. That way, we all, as entrepreneurs, can be connected and stay connected.
Yes, definitely. And that's what you want. You need support. You want to be surrounded by other people who are, on the same journey and understand your struggles and can provide you with support.
Awesome. And if you guys want to get in contact with me, you can do so. My number is 910-317-0396. You can shoot me an email, contact at mjfinancial.biz. Visit the website, www.mjfinancial.biz if you want to schedule a consultation. You guys can find this episode on Anchor, and you can also find the playback for the video on the YouTube channel. Thank you once again, Miss Adanna, for being on the show. I highly appreciate you today.
Thank you for having me.
And you're welcome. And it's been a pleasure all the way from Trinidad. So I thank you. I appreciate.
Always my pleasure to serve.
Well, all right, you guys. We will see you on the next episode of Tips with T.